What's up, everybody? This your boy CS Killer Kid Boo coming back at you with another Power Rangers Turtle comic book review. This time we're doing book number 3. I want to apologize for the delay. Just got back from CostaCon. It was a hell of a weekend, hell of a good time. You know, got to meet some old friends, made some new ones, took hella pictures. I made a little video about it. You can check my channel on it. So yeah, let's get right into this comic book review. This is what we here for. This is what we came to see. So this book picks up right where issue 2 left off. And again, this will be some spoilers if you have not seen my second review. So I suggest you go down to the second review and look at what's going on so you'll be all caught up. Give you 5 seconds again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's morphin' time. So it kicks right off with Rita and Strutter engaged in battle. And they are actually going at it. Rita's telling him, you know, you've corrupted the power coin. And Strutter's like, no, I just bend it to my will as I do all things. And if you know Strutter, if you tell him something can't work, he will find a way to make it work that benefits him. And that's exactly what he did with his power coin. And he's letting Rita know that, you know, this power, this speed, this strength, he's never felt it before. You know, his senses are razor, his bones feel like steel, his muscles feel like steel, and he's just feeling the power that he's never felt before. And the thing I like about it is we already know Strutter's a capable fighter. And now that he's morphed, what fighting styles is he going to acquire? Because we do know that when Rangers morph, they get abilities and skills that they never had before. So that's something I want to know, what more is he going to be able to do with his power? And then we go over to the henchmen that are fighting. You got Bebop and Rocksteady going up against Finster, Squat, and Baboon. And, you know, that he's shooting at them and they're hiding under cover. And then Rocksteady's like, hey, Bebop, use the pop. Just like that. Goldar took him out with one shot. And he told them to come to him and let's make our Empress proud. So then they go back to Strutter and Rita and they're going at it. And Strutter's telling Rita, you are as a formidable opponent as they say. And Rita lets him know that, look, I took down worse than you, Ninja. Worse than you. And then she also goes on to say, well, how do you know of me? And Strutter tells her that, you know, I have strong allies in another dimension. And they told me about you and the Rangers. And they think that we can do good together. And Rita's like, listen, I've only served one person ever, human. And that's me. Go boom. Hit him with a blast that shook the whole area they was fighting in. And then henchmen like, are they both dead? And then Strutter's like, listen, neither do I. I don't bend to nobody. I don't follow nobody. But maybe for this one time, we should work together. We can form an alliance. An alliance to help destroy our enemies. And Rita's all like, you know something? We'll do it. But just know that when it's all over, we will finish this little dance of ours. And Strutter goes on to say, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I just love how it just catastrophically just boom together. Because you got the villain of the Turtles and the villain of the Rangers. And Strutter now, like I said, with that Dragon Ranger power that's in him, it just looks so good on him. It just fits him so perfectly. So perfectly. And then we cut to Tommy in his cell, and then Tyler's walking up to him, and Tommy's all like, I know who you are, Tyler. You can drop the mask. You know, I lied to my friends. I did all this stuff. I broke the law just to try to get you out. And then Tyler tells him, you left, you know, you abandoned us. And Tommy goes on to tell him, look, I lived on the same streets you lived on, fought the same fights you fought, you know, since we were 7. You can't blame me because I got adopted. And Tyler tells him, you know, you did exactly what I knew you was going to do. And Tyler's like, what am I supposed to tell my new stepmom? What, this boy's home is all this dish up to be? You know, like, Tommy had a golden opportunity. He got adopted. And I love it because it gives a little more backstory to Tommy, because a lot of us, if you don't follow Power Rangers, you know, didn't know Tommy was adopted. They never really went into detail with it. You have to be a diehard fan to know that Tommy was adopted. Hi, I knew. But anyway, you had to understand that, you know, he was adopted and, you know, he went to California. So I guess that's where they're trying to say Angel Grove is located in California, which wouldn't be a bad place because everything always happens in New York. So taking to the West Coast, it wouldn't be that bad, right? You know, and Tommy's telling Tyler, like, look, you need to get out of this. You know, they're brainwashing you. And he's like, no, I would never abandon the foot. When you left, this is the only place that gave me shelter. They gave me a sense of urgency. You know, they looked after me. And, you know, and Tommy's like, after all I've been through sitting here looking at you, I don't even know who you are anymore. You know, and that's real. You know, if you come to save a friend and this man's telling you he doesn't want your assistance no more, you tell him that he's with his bad, and he's like, nigga, I'm with them. You know, I'm with them. And, you know, I feel Tommy, you know. I feel you, Tommy. I feel you. And then we cut to the sewers, you know. This is where the Rangers and Turtles are together. Mikey brings in pizza. He got jelly beans and sausage. And then another pizza he had, what was it, anchovies, butterscotch, and onions. And Jason's sitting there with his head down like, do you have real people food? And Mikey's like, what, you don't like pizza? And Jason's like, just not with, you know, these type of toppings. And Zach, like I said, this is why I love Zach. He's just sitting there crushing, like, I don't know, Jason. I may never go back to sausage ever. And just crushing the joint. And then we cut to Billy, you know, sitting there talking to Master Splinter, which I found very intriguing, you know, to understand. See, Billy trying to get some wisdom, I guess. And, you know, he's asking Splinter, the mutagen that, you know, hit them, did it turn him from a rat to a human or a human to a rat? And then Splinter just says, exactly. And I'm like, Splinter, you kind of didn't answer Billy's question. You know, he wants to know, was you a rat? I mean, you know, but it's Splinter. We just want to go with it. Splinter said exactly, so we're going to say that he was a human that got turned into a rat. Splinter is God. We just going to say that. And Billy's just sitting there like, oh, okay, that's right. It's exciting. And then we go to Trini and Ralph, where she's like, are you angry all the time? And Ralph was like, well, who told you I'm angry all the time? Was it Mikey? Oh, it had to be Mikey. And, you know, this is one of the conversations that I actually do like, because Trini's telling Ralph, like, look, you guys are isolated. You guys don't have to lie to your parents. You know, you don't have to pretend to be something. You don't have to lie to certain of your friends. You know, and Ralph is all like, yes, but in a sense, you get to be out. Like, I can't be out in the real world because no one would accept it, so I have to stay isolated. And he's telling Trini, like, whenever you want to switch lives, feel free to let me know, because if you follow the Turtles, like, they cannot be out in public. Splinter tells them 1,000 times the real world is not ready to accept them. And it's 100% facts. They are not ready to accept them. Every time, you know what they do, but for some reason they still run from the Turtles. That's why they mainly stay to the shadows. And then we cut to April O'Neil and Kimberly, and April's asking Kimberly, you know, is she okay? And Kimberly's telling her, you know, I'm not upset anymore. I'm just pissed because if Tommy isn't in real danger, and I mean if he's not in real danger, then he's going to have to deal with, and then you get the little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And like I said, Power Rangers fans, we all know this. That's Zordon, you know, Alpha calling the Rangers, let them know that they found Tommy's morphin signature. And, you know, they can't, like, pinpoint, like, where Tommy's located, but they can teleport them as close as possible to the reading. And then the Turtles are like, all right, hey, do you want us to go with you? And Ralph is like, yeah, because we're ready to crush some heads. And Jason's, you know, like I said, this is why I love Jason. The leadership that he has. He tells the Turtles, it would be much appreciated, but until we know what's going on and after everything that's happened, I think it's best that we talk to Tommy alone. We do this alone. And the Turtles are just sitting there like, oh, okay. And then the Rangers hit their famous line, it's morphin' time. And, you know, the Turtles, like, Mikey's all amazed. That man Ralph got his back turned, talking about they some show-offs. And then Donnie, I love Donnie in this little series too. Donnie has been asking questions that everybody wants to know. And he asks another one now. Do they have clothes under those suits? That's, you know, still a mystery. You know, we never know. And then it cuts to the Rangers actually going to the little warehouse area where Tommy's morphine signature was found. And, you know, the Rangers was telling Jason, hey, look, do you think when this is all over, can we invite the Turtles back? You know, Zach's like, you know, I want to hang with Mikey. Billy's telling him, you know, I want to, you know, invite Donnie back to the community, you know, command center. And, you know, do you know they got a blimp? And then Jason's like, the focus leader, he's just looking around. And then you got Trini says, it's just me, or does this feel like trap written all over? And Kimberly like, it's not just you. And then Kimberly looks, and in the distance, you see a figure. She's like, is it Tom? And then out of nowhere, it cuts, zooms in, and you see Shredder, not Tommy. Kaboom! A big blast. And all of a sudden, Trini and Kimberly are demorphed. They're demorphed. And Jason is looking like, why'd you guys demorph? And all of a sudden, kaboom again. Kaboom again. Him, Zach, and Billy are now demorphed. And Shredder, you know, is like, I did exactly what I did to the Green Ranger to you, and charged them about this will not take long. And like I said, now that Shredder is morphed, this is going to be crazy because we already know how skilled of a fighter Shredder really, really is already. To the point where he's able to fight Batman in certain comics. So we know that Shredder is heavily skilled. And now that he's morphed with more knowledge on top of that, we're about to see what he's capable of doing. So he jumps in and starts fighting the Rangers, and he even admits that their skills are considerable, but they lack stamina. And then he grabs Billy and asks Billy, without your powers, where are you? And Billy just like, you're about to find out. And then Trini comes in, hits him in the back of his head, and Shredder's like he's falling, and Billy's like he's about to put him in some type of arm. It just looks funny. And then, you see Jason and Zach jumping in the air. It's like, I really hope that hurt. And then when Shredder's like, all right, that's good. And out of nowhere comes down, hey, knocks him on his head, says 4 points. I love cricket, and we all know who this is. It is Casey Jones, and he asks Shredder, what is up with him and fighting teenagers? He needs to find a hobby, or he needs to get a date. And I love it because since I've been reading this, I've been hoping they was going to keep bringing in, allies of the Turtles and allies of the Rangers. And I love the fact that now we have Casey Jones into this fight. And I love it. And, they ask, hey, who's the goalie? And he says the name's Casey Jones. And Casey looks actually amazing in this thing. The artwork on Casey, throughout the entire comic, the artwork is just amazing. But the way they made Casey, it fits perfectly, It looks like the Casey from the cartoon and the one from the very first Ninja movie, like blended in together. And I like how they paid homage to all that. And Shredder gets up and he tackles Casey and Zach to the ground. And Casey's like, oh, just my luck. And then Billy looks in the distance and he asks Casey, did you bring 5 more guys like you? And then you see Shredder stands up and the entire Foot Clan is there. And Jason's like, if we try to fight this fight without our powers, and Trini said, Jason, we'll lose. We have to retreat. So the Rangers start taking off running, and then we cut to the command center. And we see Alpha saying, Zordon, the Rangers can't morph. They're in danger. We need to try to get them out of there. And Zordon's telling, keep trying to teleport them out of there. Also, contact those teenage turtles. Maybe they can be of some assistance to us and get them to help the Rangers. And while they're running, you hear Shredder call them cowards. And they stop, and Shredder's in front of them. And he tells them, surrender your power coins to me by sundown tomorrow, or Tommy's dead. No games. And we know Shredder don't play. No games. And the Rangers are looking, and they're like, Jason, he's like, yeah, I know. And then Alpha was able to get the reading on them and teleport them to the command center. And I love that entire scene because you got the Rangers actually doing an unmorph fight against a morph Shredder. And they were actually kind of holding their own, but in a sense they kind of wasn't because Shredder was getting the upper hand of them. And I do admit the fact that Shredder said their skills are considerable, but they lack stamina, which is kind of true because the Rangers, they're still learning their powers and they're still training. If you follow the Go-Go series, they're still moving up to, get to where they need to be. And that's why I really, really love how they tap that into this. And then we cut to the command center, and Jason's telling Zordon, we don't know what happened. We tried to morph, but we couldn't. And then, the bad guy showed up, and Casey Jones is just sitting there telling them, he's Shredder. That's his name. And he's, the baddest of the bad. The worst of the worst. Literally the worst. And then Shredder's also, it goes back to Shredder. He tells him, all right, Rita, the Rangers are powerless. Now do your stuff. And Rita literally just screams, faster! And whenever she screams faster, if you watch the show, like I said, you already know what that means. A monster is coming. And then cuts to the people in New York. They just living their daily life, Times Square, just chilling. Got one dude he's about to do a broadcast. And then kaboom. This big behemoth, lion, behemoth monster comes out, and he calls himself Wildfire. And he is on a rampage. And we go back to the command center, and the Rangers are like, what are the coincidences that Shredder steals our powers and then Rita sends a monster? It's no coincidence. They must be working together here. They got to be an alliance. And Zordon tells the Rangers that, Alpha just ran the scans on the power coins. They're still working. It's just that they can't be unlocked by U5. And Kimberly's all like, well, we can't fight the monster because we can't morph, but we can't let Shredder kill Tom and Eva. So how are we going to do this? And Billy sits there and says, this is where it gets killed. This is where it gets straight fire. This is where the energy comes in. Ooh, boy. This is where it gets good. Billy's sitting there and saying, well, since we have to be in 2 places at once, I do have a rather strange idea. And it literally cuts where you see Michelangelo says, do we get to pick our own colors? And it zooms down. Literally, I'm doing it slow for y'all. Like I said, it zooms down. I'm doing it slow for y'all again. It zooms down, and you see the turtles holding the Power Morphers. And as a child, you see this come to reality. And I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out. I screamed like a schoolgirl. I screamed like a fat boy that found candy in his pocket. I screamed like a fat man when they found out a buffet is $1.99. I screamed like a muscle-bound steroid when he benched 600 pounds. That is how hyped I was when they showed that the turtles are now about to morph into Rangers. And this is going to be incredible. This is going to be monumental. And I love how the comic ended on this note. I truly love it. It was fantastic. It was everything. The build up to it with the Rangers losing their powers. The build up was so perfect. It was so good. So good. Whew. And now we got to wait for issue number 4 because I know I'm late and I haven't seen it yet, but I know that they already linked the costumes and stuff. I'm not going to look at it yet. But, ooh boy. We're going to get it. We're going to get the Turtles in Rangers costumes. I don't know which ones they're going to get because there's 4 Turtles and there's 5 Rangers. Maybe Casey will become a Ranger as well. That would be freaking dope if Casey could become a Ranger. You know, maybe April. You know, never know. You know, she may be the 5th one. You know, if Billy could morph and become a lethal weapon, then why can't she? You know, and like I said, this comic right here, like I said, so far, I'm giving them all the diamond rating because for me, it's living up to my expectation. It's exceeding some of the stuff that I want. I'm calling some of the stuff, you know, that I kind of see happening. And I'm not going to lie. I still believe that we're going to get Lord Zed. I still believe that he may be the one behind this. That's just my personal opinion, you know, and I really can't wait till issue number 4 drops. You know, I really love what IDW and Boom Studios is doing with this. I really, really love how they are putting this together. I really do enjoy it. So, I'm going to end my video soon. Also, news for the channel. I do have a WFCW pay-per-view happening on March 7th. You know, that's where, you know, like I said, if you've seen on my channel, you know, I do create my friends in a wrestling game, and I make us all work together, you know, like fight it out. It's kind of funny. You can check it out. You got a Battle Royal. It's a trailer for the Battle Royal, and I'm doing a live pay-per-view on March 7th. I also did a CostaCon video of pictures I took and made a video of that too. You can also check that out on my channel as well. And like I said, if you want to look me up, I'm on Instagram at CSKiller_kid_boo. And I'm always around. Like I said, if you want to talk, you can hit me up on Instagram. You can comment. Anything. I'm always going to respond. I do my best to, you know, talk about this stuff. I love this, and I'm sharing it with you all. That is what I love. This is the passion that I have. And I just enjoy being able to speak this to everybody. That's what I love, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So, like I said, if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. We could talk. We could chat. And, you know, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next review. And I also look forward to seeing you guys at my next con, which will be Awesome Con. Till then, later.